it's so interesting, like being someone who's come from a creative background and coming into the church, so much of what I think maybe I bring is like having a vision for the way things could be, and it gets me really, really excited. And when I think about beauty, I'm reminded by this saying by Gregory the Great. It's called compunctio, and it's like when you see something so beautiful and you have those moments, we've all had it, you know, like when you're out for a walk and there's a sunset, you know, the steam's rising off the water and you're like, oh, so perfect. Or when you're sat around a table, maybe at a wedding or with friends, and it's like everyone you want is in that room and you feel like everything is right. But then you followed by a moment where you realize that it's temporary and it's unsustainable. That's what compunctio is. It's this holy longing that I think like beauty brings to the surface. And I think all of those things are really a reflection of God. I remember there's this story that N.T Wright tells about a priest who's in a church, and these three boys walk into the church and they think, okay, we're gonna like mess with this priest. So they go into the confessional and they like confess all sorts of like lewd things, and the priest's not fussed by this. And two of the boys run off and he grabs one of the boys kind of by the shirt and he's like, okay, you've confessed your sins. Well, now you have to do penance. And he goes, go to the other end of the room, and he says, look at Jesus in the face and say, you've done all of that for me, but it doesn't mean that much. And he goes to the end of the room and he looks at Jesus in the face and he says, you've done all that for me and it doesn't mean that much. And he says, you've done all that for me and it doesn't mean that much. And then by the time he gets to this last one, he finds himself in floods of tears. And the amazing thing about that story is it's told by an archbishop, and when he tells it, he then says, and I can tell you that story because that young boy was me. And the reality is that Jesus is the beauty which our heart longs for. And actually, when we encounter Jesus, we might have come with, you know, feeling like we're naughty children who aren't allowed to go into church, that we've done all of the wrong things. But Jesus, when we gaze upon his face, absolutely transforms our life. I truly believe that the beauty and our seeking beauty is just the depth of our hearts screaming out for Jesus.